this press conference with a thank you to John Fox.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
You're listening to Rochester, Indiana's #1 podcast, the Tan and J-Man Show, featuring Josh Munt and Tanner Lee.
This is episode 77 on the Tan and J-Man Show, of the Tan and J-Man Show, on this beautiful Wednesday night, because the J-Man was sick on Monday, so we apologize for my illness.
Did the Cubs losing have any effect of you being sick?
I sure as hell didn't help matters, but you know what, I'm surviving. I'm feeling a lot better about the Cubs now.
Yeah. Little sweep action of the Marlins.
Sweep!
Of the Marlins. Like all those
fish.
All those Twitter polls we've been running on our Twitter account.
You're going to have to refresh my memory on these Twitter polls.
I'm going to have to refresh my own memory because I ran like 3 of them. But let's get the Birdie Bogey before we forget.
Oh, yes. I think I have it down memorized. I don't have to pull out my phone. I'm glad you said something because I kind of forgot about it. Who has the most 20 assist games in NBA playoff history? Pretty straightforward.
I hate that because I get every dang
Pretty
trivia
straightforward.
question wrong.
Rondo became only the 3rd player to have multiple such games. One player has 20 and the other player has 4 ahead of him. He's 3rd. You can name both.
Well, before we get into any certain topic, let me go over some of these Twitter polls and Facebook polls.
Let's do it.
And really ramping up the Tan and J-Man Show Twitter as of late. So if you're not following us, get with it. Follow us at Tan and J-Man Show. Right now, I've got a poll running. Actually, the poll ended yesterday. Just a one-day poll. I wanted to know, should the Players' Championship become the 5th major? Because a lot of golf analysts are talking like they should add it as the official 5th major, because right now it's known as the unofficial 5th major, is known as the biggest non-major tournament. 88% said no, it's fine as it is. 13% said yes.
Did you vote on it?
I don't think I did.
What would you have voted?
No, it is fine the way it is.
It's exactly what I voted, although 5's kind of a nice round number.
And we also got it on Facebook right now. It's going to be up there on Facebook till Sunday. I checked earlier. There was 6 votes. There was 1 vote yes, and 5 no. It's fine. That's the way it is.
I mean, people kind of view it, as you said, as the unofficial 5th major, and people tune in like it is a major.
And starting next year, it's going to move from May to March, and the PGA Championship's moving from August to May. So you're going to have Players in March, Masters in April, PGA in May, U.S. Open in June, British Open in July. You're not going to have any dead period, really.
That's kind of nice.
And then the playoffs are moving from September to August. So you're going to be done by the time NFL starts. That's why they didn't want to compete with the NFL.
I'm sure their ratings weren't great for those September tourneys.
And, well, they won't move to the Ryder Cup, but the Ryder Cup gets watched anyways because it's Europe.
Plus, it's not an every year thing anyway.
No. So the other Twitter poll I ran, I did not run this one on Facebook. I thought this was the most interesting one we've done in a while. I asked, which rookie quarterback will start the most games this year? The choices were Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, or Josh Rosen.
The J-Man voted on this one.
I did too.
I believe I voted Josh Allen just because of the situation he's in.
I did as well.
Although I could see Josh Rosen starting a ton of games because Bradford's been pretty unreliable. Of course, I mean, Darnold could as well because McCown's 70 years old and Bridgewater had his leg amputated.
Yep. Yeah, I don't even know if Teddy will be on the team.
I don't know. That's a lot of money for a guy that's not going to make the team. But then, of course, you have Baker's situation. Sure, he went 1, but Tyrod Taylor is a very serviceable quarterback that led a team to the playoffs last year.
Tyrod plays really well this year?
Exactly.
But you can't keep him. You spend a #1 overall pick on Baker Mayfield.
I believe he just has 1 year left on his deal.
He's just trying to play to get paid by somebody else.
Yeah, he's kind of betting on himself. He had a pretty good year last year. I mean, obviously led a franchise to the playoffs that hadn't been in almost 2 decades. And, I mean, he's a good quarterback, and he's not a bad guy to learn behind because I think Baker and Tyrod are pretty similar. They're both fairly good athletes.
Absolutely. The results were Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen tied with 33% apiece, and Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen tied with 17% apiece.
I could see those three kind of guys, Allen, Rosen, and Darnold, starting the bulk of their games. But if I were to handicap a person that would start the most, it would be Allen. Because, I mean, they do have A.J. McCarron, but he's a
Unproven.
Seasoned.
We don't know
That,
really
yeah.
what he can do. Out of those four, and I'm taking Lamar Jackson out of the equation. Out of those four, who do you think, as of right now, we've never even seen him play a game in the pros, who do you think has the best career out of the four?
That's a good question. It's so tough to say, as you said.
You're not getting judged on this. It's just the...
Yeah, the guy I thought was the most NFL ready was Josh Rosen. Rosen. Thank you.
J-Man
Again.
Rosen.
Yeah, J-Man Rosen, that's right. But I would probably say Rosen, just
I
because
agree.
he's
I think he's in the best place
Yeah.
to succeed or have success.
Darnold, is he even 21 yet? And I know he was really young for his class.
He's 20.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's just going to take him maybe 2 or 3 years to kind of grow into that role. Baker, I think, will have a good career. Is he going to be a superstar? Maybe not.
Josh Allen might have the highest ceiling
And the lowest floor.
and lowest floor. I mean, it's going to be really interesting
I do think...
because he could be stepping into a team that made the playoffs last year.
Yeah. Rosen, I think, has a very high floor, but I think Baker probably has the highest floor, but...
Highest ceiling?
Highest floor.
Okay.
And he might have the lower ceiling of all of those four guys. I think he's the safer guy besides Rosen. So.
And one more thing before we get to the next poll. We're talking about rookie quarterbacks. Mason Rudolph was taken by the Steelers. What do you think about this whole situation with Big Ben being a big old baby?
Yeah, he's kind of being whiny.
What the heck?
I mean, he's in his mid to late 30s. I mean, he's got to know they have to have a succession plan. And, I mean, he's been on the record saying he doesn't know what he's going to do, as if he's going to come back. I mean, he said last year after he threw 5 picks against Jacksonville, maybe I just don't have it anymore. So, I mean, he's kind of been wishy-washy about his future. So why is he mad at the team he plays for, trying to get an heir apparent there?
And so is Flacco's not happy with the Ravens about Jackson either. He hasn't even offered any help or anything.
Well...
But I think he sees the writing on the wall there.
Yeah, I mean, Flacco hasn't been good in a few years. He hasn't led his team to playoffs in a few years. He'll always be known.
Still think Raheem Moore for the Super Bowl championship or Super Bowl.
People will always... He'll just be thought of as the guy that won the Super Bowl, but arguably he's one of the worst starting quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl. I just don't think he's ever really been that great. I mean, he's a good guy to have if you have a really good defense like they did when they won it, but is he a guy that's going to go out there and win you ball games? He never has been, so...
He finally has some athletes on offense this year, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. All right, next question. This was our most popular out of the 3 polls and our most popular Twitter poll we've had in quite a while. I asked, with the Pacers' success this year and with the Colts struggling the past few years, is Indianapolis now a basketball city for the first time in a long time? It only had 10 votes on Facebook. It was 5 each, 50-50. This had 26 votes. 77% said still a Colts city, while 23% said boom baby, which is Slick Leonard's famous call when somebody hits a 3 for the Pacers.
Indianapolis will always be a basketball town first, but I think they'll be a Colts town more than a Pacers. Because, I mean, obviously, basketball in Indiana, I mean, it's the mecca of at least high school basketball.
That's why I asked it, because, I mean, the Pacers really took over the city this year, and I don't know. But it's been a long time since you probably have to go back to 03, 04-ish, the last time it was a true Pacer city. Mm-hmm. When Colts were just starting to win consistently.
I think the NFL reigns king. Cleveland, that's a Browns town. That's not a Cavs town.
Big time Browns town.
So I just think the NFL always reign. Now, the only place I would say maybe would be other than NFL, probably Chicago. I mean, it could be a Blackhawks town, really.
Yeah.
And
a lot of Bears fans, too.
There are a lot of Bears fans, but it's a Blackhawks town. Could be a Cubs town. No one gives a crap about the White Sox there. I mean, they love their Bulls, too, though.
New York's hard telling. I mean, they love all their teams.
Of course, there's really only one team in. Well, 2 teams. That's the Nets and Knicks. Because, I mean, technically, the Giants and Jets are in New Jersey. So
yeah, but Yeah, if you want to get technical, ruin all the fun. But even like I've been on record saying before, the Broncos could be 0-16. They'd still get more talk than the Avalanche, Rockies, or Nuggets, even if all three were good at the same time. So
Miami is a pretty crappy sports town. I would say it's probably a Dolphins town. They don't really.
They didn't even care when LeBron was down there.
Honestly, Honestly, it's probably a soccer town more than anything because of Cuba.
Yeah.
Cuba.
Yeah.
And all the Latino.
High school football.
Yeah, they have good high
They
school
do like
football
the U when they're good, like they were this past year.
Yeah, but other years when they're mediocre, 7-5, no one shows up.
That's when it's tough to find the J-Man because he's always been a U fan.
Oh, huge. I always throw out that the U and the turnover chain, but if they're anything less than 10-2, I'm not watching them.
And speaking of Miami, go right into it with your Cubs report. Cubs have had.
Oh, right. I was thinking, where are you going with this? They played the Marlins.
Good bounce back series for them against the Marlins.
No, last week I was kind of on the podcast. They were coming off a 5-game win streak, or it was a 4-game win streak at the time. They ended up winning Monday night, and I was thinking, feeling pretty good about them, but we'll be sitting here next week, and they went 1-5. Well, if we would have done the podcast on Monday, they would have been 1-5.
That might have been pretty entertaining episode to do.
Yeah, but I'm feeling a lot better now, so kind of sucks. But yeah, they went to St. Louis and did not hit very well. They should have won the last 2 games. Bullpen kind of blew it, and offense really let them down, especially in that 14-inning game. Excuse me. They didn't play very well, and I think there's a sizable or a good 5 to 6 game gap between the Cubs and the Cardinals. But when you lose or when you get swept in a series like that, that really lessens your margin for error. But they had a nice bounce back 3-game set against the Marlins where they swept them and blew them out in 2 of the games, and then won a really nice, fun game to watch last night. They got down 3-0 in the first inning because they had to bring up a minor leaguer because Pooh Darvish literally Pooh Darvish because he had the flu.
What was his contract? $126 million.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's early, but
John Lester was 155, and his numbers were worse at this stage in his first year. And I guess he's been dealing with kind of some sickness a little bit, and still learning anew. I mean, I'm not worried about him. He just needs to throw more strikes. And I mean, he was a victim of the wind blowing out against the Rockies, and that doesn't mix well for really anyone. But they had a nice bounce back series against the Marlins, and as I was saying, they started Rin-Ho Sang. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Close enough.
Yeah, and he pitched 2 innings, gave up 3 runs, and then they just kind of clawed their way back where they just kind of grinded out at bats, maybe got down a little early, but came back and won a nice 4-3 ball game. And they came back today and really took it to the Marlins. I think the final score was 13-4, but Chris Bryant hit his 100th career homer. I was really nervous after he got hit in the head because, I mean, a lot of guys, if they get hit in the head, some guys don't bounce back from that, but he really has, and he's been on a tear. One of the best players in baseball. Hit his 100th career homer today. Fastest in Cubs history. The other 4 guys up there were Hall of Famers. As Ernie Banks did it in 500 games, then Billy Williams, Ron Santo, Gabby Hartnett, and Chris Bryant did it in 487 games. Really good, just all-around baseball player. He's the best base runner in baseball. I mean, you saw last night he scored on a ball hit second with the infield in when he was at third, scored the game-winning run in the 8th inning. So he's just a great baseball player. And Rizzo, who was struggling this time last week, has homered in, I want to say, 4 of 6 games or maybe 5 of 7. He had hit a homer today, had 2 doubles, drove in 5. So he's heating up. Rotation starting to pitch better. Kyle Hendricks, the professor, really schooled the Marlins on Monday. And then Jose Quintana bounced back after a rough start in St. Louis, and he was pitching pretty well today, so hopefully they can keep it rolling. They need to beat the teams they have to beat. They should beat in the Marlins, and now they get to play the White Sox, who are not very good. I mean, they blew a 3-run lead in the top of the 9th today and lost to the Pirates.
9-25.
Yeah, they're 9-25. I always hate playing the White Sox. It seems like they always get one, and you just hope it's not the first one so they don't have to really press to get to win that series. But like the way the Cubs are playing right now, need to keep it going against teams they should beat, and hopefully they do that against the White Sox.
And you don't want to lose the crosstown series because the White Sox fans hate the Cubs a lot more than Cub fans hate the White Sox.
Cubs
they will let you know about it because they got nothing else to hang their hat on.
Yeah. Your dad has always kind of said, the Cubs and White Sox rivalry is kind of like Purdue and Indiana, where Purdue fans hate Indiana and Indiana fans don't really care. White Sox fans hate the Cubs and their fans, and Cubs fans really couldn't care less about the White Sox. So.
They hate the Cardinals more?
By far. They hate the Brewers more.
Yep.
Hate probably the Reds and Pirates more, too.
Yep. But it's definitely still a series you don't want to lose.
Yeah, don't want to lose that one.
Who do they got next week?
They have a 4-gamer against the Braves. The first game's at Wrigley. It was a rain out. And then the next 3 are in Atlanta, and I do not know where they play over the weekend. I want to say it's Pittsburgh, but I do.
Give me a second. I'll look it
not
up.
I'm pretty sure it's Pittsburgh, but need to keep on rolling along. You know, Cubs were 3.5 games out 2 days ago, and now they're sitting here a game out of first place already. So
Cincinnati.
Oh, the Cincinnati Redlegs.
Cincinnati Reds.
The Reds are going to heat up sometime. You just hope it's not.
They have a record of 10-27.
Yeah, they won
they're better than the White Sox.
They won their double digits. They won their 10th game today. They finally reached double digits. There are 2 teams that have not reached double digits. The White Sox are one. Can you name the other one? I think the Royals. Royals, I believe. Royals have just beat up on this team this week.
Marlins?
Nope, Marlins have won 13 or 12.
Okay,
The Baltimore Orioles are sitting here at 8-27. Buck Showalter gone. Dan Duquette gone. Their owner should sell the team. They are just bad. And they were, in their minds they expected to compete, but when we did our MLB preview, I kind of threw them out as maybe they could be the worst team in baseball this year. I'm feeling pretty good about it now. No one was saying them either. So
No.
J-Man.
Let's do the J-Man when it comes to baseball. Yankees are on fire.
Your Yankees are pretty dang good.
They're playing well all across the board.
They've kind of started the season. I throw too many comparisons to the 2016 Cubs. That's my favorite team of all time, as anyone could expect. But they're kind of remind me of the 2016 Cubs with the way they swing the bats.
Well, and I feel it's weird because of course, baseball nuts like yourself, but I feel like the casual fan doesn't understand how many good young guys the Yankees have. Yeah. I'm trying to tell people they're going to be around for a while because not only do they have a crap ton of money like always, they got a lot of good young guys. Look what Gleybar's doing already.
Yeah, I can't really be upset. I have no clue, dude. Torres, there you go. I've seen some Cubs fans be real pissy. Oh, look at Gleyber, whatever his name is, and Russell's not hitting him. I'm thinking, dude, you can't really complain because Cubs don't win that World Series without trading him.
Exactly.
So I'm not really overly upset about it.
He became the youngest Yankee in franchise history to hit a walk-off home run.
He's going to be a good
21 years old in a couple of days.
Brian Cashman, back in 2016, made 2 franchise-altering trades. Trading for Gleyber and then Billy McKinney, who came up this year. I forget who else they got, Rashad Crawford and somebody else. And then he traded Andrew Miller to the Indians. I don't think that's really paid off yet because Clint Frazier's been hurt and Justice Sheffield. But a couple trade or a franchise-altering trade. And, he had some underrated ones getting Didi Gregorius
put up.
I don't even remember who they gave up for him.
Ian Kennedy?
No,
was that a different trade?
That was a different trade.
I
don't even remember, but some of these have panned out. And obviously, Aaron Judge, when he first came up, he wasn't good at all. Now he's turned into this full-blown superstar.
For years, I heard about the 3 catching prospects for years, which Romine and Sanchez are still on the team, and Gary's really good.
Jesus Montero was the other one.
Yeah, I remember when they traded him to Seattle.
He was supposed to be the best of the bunch.
Why are we trading him? He's the number 1 prospect for the Yankees, but it turned out just fine. So, they got another big one with the Red Sox tonight and tomorrow. But they beat the Red Sox last night, so they're both tied for the MLB leading record of 25-10, which is crazy because one of those 2 teams is probably going to be a wild card. That is crazy.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm going to make another Cubs thing here. But back in 2015, the Cardinals won the NL Central with 100 wins. Pirates won 98. Cubs won 97. Cubs and Pirates played in that wild card game with 98 and 97 wins. And the 2 other division winners had like 92. I
just don't know how you fix that.
There's not a way.
It just happens every once in a while. There's an outlier, and it is what it is. So, yep. So, any other MLB thoughts as a whole? How about James Saxton. Paxton.
With a P, there's not an S there.
Yeah, Paxton. Yeah.
He's really good. He's Canadian.
We talked about him on the MLB preview show.
You actually brought him up. Neither of us could remember his name, but I knew who you were talking about. He's really good. I mean, he throws really hard. He's Canadian, and he threw his first career no-hitter in Canada. I'm sure you were going to – we kind of looked at each other.
We'll go for it.
There have been 3 no-hitters this year. One in Mexico, one in U.S., and one in Canada, so that's kind of cool.
And I know if anybody listened to From the Bench this morning, WROI, which I know you do when I'm on because the ratings go up, you heard
Tanner's on the radio so much I can't keep up with his schedule on the radio. You're the voice of Rochester, Indiana.
Just not Rochester sports.
No.
Not so much. I did talk about him today, though. And, Zebra's been doing well. I want to give him all the Spring Sports a shout-out. Couple track people did really well last night at TRC. So.
Yeah, cool.
But
James Sexton that's Tanner's new name for him, James Sexton.
I don't know why.
He's a big lefty. He throws really hard. Last night in the first 4 innings or 5 innings, his fastball's averaging like 94.1. His last 2 innings, his fastball's averaging 97.9 mile an hour. So he really heated up.
You know who else is a stud pitching? Luis
Severino.
Yep.
Yeah, he's really good. I know some scouts when he was coming up through the minors thought for sure he was going to be a bullpen guy just because you see that electric stuff. And, man, it's going to work great out of the bullpen. Don't know if he has the mechanics or that third pitch to stick in the rotation, but he's doing pretty dang well.
Yep. He full confidence every time he gets on the mound. So let's see. Ohtani keeps wowing people with different stuff. This week his batting practice out of Coors.
He is a good baseball player. Stephen Piscotty, it was kind of a big news over the offseason. He was a Cardinal outfielder. They traded him to Oakland because he's from the Bay Area and his mom was dying of ALS.
Yeah.
She died, I want to say Monday, so our thoughts and prayers are with the Piscotty family. It's really cool that the Cardinals did that and that the A's did it to try to bring him home so he could spend the last few months with his mom. So
the Dark Knight, Matt Harvey, traded to the Reds.
Yeah, he has been one of the worst starting pitchers in baseball. And honestly, where the Reds are at, our buddy Andrew Eiler said, I don't necessarily like it, but it's an upside play, which it really is. I don't know how it'll work well in Great American, which is an absolute bandbox, and he's now, instead of 96, 97, he's 88, 89.
Weird. I mean, man, you're looking at a guy 3 or 4 years ago was on the cover of Sports Illustrated a couple of times. He was taking the city by storm. And
he's a guy, there have been some players in all sports that were just huge stars for 3 years and then just completely tailed off. I don't remember one as drastic as Matt Harvey. His last 115 innings, his ERA is like 6.9 something. He's just not striking people out.
Maybe a change of scenery is what he needs. Who
yep,
knows?
It's
doubtful, but who knows?
Sitting there at, what'd you say the Reds were, 10-27. Got absolutely nothing to lose, and their pitching staff has just been trash for years. So maybe, heck, if he turns out great, awesome, and you got a top of the rotation guy, I don't think he'll ever be that again. But if he doesn't, whatever, you're going to be picking top 3 in the draft, top 5 in the draft.
Yep, and just draft wisely. Just listen to Andrew Eiler. Travis Watching. Yep. So, any more MLB notes?
I don't think I have anything. I'm trying to think.
I feel like I do, and I
it seemed like there was a big injury this week, but I don't remember.
Oh, Dodgers,
yes. Well, it's not like a huge injury, but Kershaw, anytime Kershaw gets
talking about Seager.
That was last.
We didn't talk about it last week. It happened.
It felt like 2 weeks ago.
Because we talked about the other guy that was hurt.
And Corey Seager out for the year with Tommy John surgery, so that really hurts him. They're, I think, 7 or 8 out of the West, and they only play the Diamondbacks 8 more times.
They might want to hit the panic button already.
Yeah, it's time, especially because Kershaw's going on the DL. Not sure how long he's going to be there. It doesn't sound like it's overly serious, but he's kind of lived on the DL here the past 2 years.
Yeah, he has. Getting that age.
Yep.
But look at Verlander. He doesn't seem to age any better now. But I don't think I have any more MLB news. The NBA playoffs are still rolling on. We're not even close to being done yet.
We got another month and a half.
The Western Conference Finals are set with the Rockets and the Warriors, kind of what we all expected. I think we both had the Warriors. I had the Warriors beating the Rockets. I think you did. I don't remember. No, you had the Rockets beating the Warriors?
I had Rockets Raptors.
Well, I have the Warriors and the Sixers, which still could happen, but looking kind of doubtful right now. But big storyline last night was Chris Paul finally getting to Western Conference Finals. First time in his career. He's playing really good basketball right now. Dropped 20 points in the third quarter alone last night. It's going to be a fun series. These two teams are playing really good basketball, especially the nucleus of Golden State. I think in the end, they're too much for Houston to overcome.
I picked Houston, but I think when, the Golden State's at the top of their game, they're beating any team in basketball by a wide margin. I mean, too much talent, too much depth. So I think I'm going to change my finals prediction and say Golden State gets there again.
And while we're thinking about it real quick, let's play last week's J-Man's Bucket Prediction of the Week. And we got a little more playoff talk here, but I want to, I got to put some shame on the J-Man a little bit.
I had a five bucket in a row streak.
It's kind of turned down to like three bad ones in a row, so you better turn around this week.
Oh, you can book that one.
But let's go ahead and listen to last week's and see why he missed it.
Whatever it was, but I changed my pick to Utah, and Utah got waxed yesterday by the Houston Rockets.
It's going to be Rockets, it's going to be Rockets Warriors.
This will be the J-Man's Bucket Prediction of the Week.
Dano, hold it a minute. I want to book this one.
There will be two series in this semifinal that are swept. I think it's going to be Houston's going to sweep Utah, and I think Golden State's going to sweep.
So both West, both of the Western.
Watch out for the Sixers sweeping the Celtics.
The Celtics proved me wrong beating the Bucks. I have the Bucks, and Brad Stevens is the best coach on earth.
He is a pretty good one.
There you have it.
J-Man, wrong again.
I just wanted to play that. I really wanted to play that last part.
That was pretty close. You picked the Sixers in the finals.
I know, and they're still alive. Still alive. Yeah. Is it in tonight? Does Boston put them away in 5?
This will be the J-Man's Bucket Prediction of the Week.
Dano, hold it a minute. I want to book this one.
You got to hear Dano book it twice today. What was it going to be? I completely forget now. The Celtics will beat the Sixers tonight. You can book that one.
Can we, though? Can we?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the Celtics have to win this one, because if they don't, they head back to Philly. Is it? Yeah. No. Yeah, they would head back to Philly for Game 6. I don't know.
Do you think if it goes back to Philly for Game 6?
I think Philly forces a Game 7.
I think so.
Then all bets are off. I have no idea.
All bets are off.
But we got to talk about the King a little bit. We give him a lot of trash because he whines like a little baby. But
he's the best player I've ever seen.
Yeah, I didn't watch Jordan enough. Really.
Jordan couldn't do what LeBron does.
I can't argue with you. He's incredible, especially late in the games. He's clutch. He is absolutely clutch.
Jordan was really clutch as well.
So LeBron's playing.
Yeah. But LeBron, greatest athlete to play, maybe a professional sport. Just pure.
He's 33 and he's just dominating.
Pure physical specimen out there on the basketball court. It's like they went to a lab and somebody you'd create in a video game, and that's who it is.
Pretty much.
In real life. He's ridiculous. I think he's the best basketball player in the history of basketball.
His teammates are finally starting to help him a little bit. And guys are stepping up. Yeah, and they swept the Raptors. He owns the Raptors.
Yes, I picked the Raptors to go to the finals.
Looks like they're going to fire their coach.
Dwayne Casey, I think it is.
Stan Van Gundy got fired by the Pistons.
Yeah, the Suns fired.
NBA coaches don't have long shelf lives.
No.
But, Cleveland's back in the Eastern Conference Finals again and got a good chance to go to the finals yet again.
It's going to be Golden State.
4th year in a row.
Cleveland again, yeah.
I don't know. I want to say Cleveland has no shot, but they got LeBron. I mean, you can't totally count them out when they have LeBron.
I think if Philadelphia comes back and beats the Celtics, I think they have a better chance to beat them than Boston does, especially without Kyrie.
That would help my prediction. But here I got a crazy, we'll talk about this more, I'm sure, this summer when it comes ahead. But with the success lately of the Cavaliers, is LeBron still a Cavalier next year, or is he somewhere else?
I think somewhere else.
Still think so?
He doesn't like to stay in one place.
No, he doesn't.
And, he went down to Miami. Maybe he tries to help another team win one in Philadelphia.
There's been rumors of going back to Miami, going to Philly, going to Lakers. I think the interesting one, I don't think it's going to happen, would be him to go to New York. They just got a new coach who used to be his assistant down in Miami for 4 years. You got the huge market, the arena he loves, and if he could bring a championship to the Knicks, who have missed the playoffs for 4 or 5 straight years, that'd be huge. I mean, absolutely huge.
I mean, the immediate tension with him is ridiculous now. Can you imagine in New York? It doubles.
Yeah, ESPN would just be the LeBron channel even more than it already is.
Already. I mean, they just moved their studio to Madison Square Garden,
right in the middle,
right on center court.
So, yep, the NBA playoffs are still going. Like we said, Game 5 tonight. Celtics.
We forgot to do this at the beginning of the show, but the Tane and J-Man Show is sponsored by Fraunfelter Dental Clinic, great family-owned dental clinic that offers laser whitening and dentistry along with braces, implants, and your typical teeth cleanings. Go see Dr. Bill or Dr. DJ today for all your dental needs. Like them on Facebook, and check out their website, www.stateoftheartsmile.com.
And you could go right to our website, thetannandjmanshow.com. They got a link. We got a link right to their website from there if you want to do that way as well. So. And the J-Man's Book of Prediction of the Week is sponsored by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Travis Watring. For all your insurance needs, get a hold of Travis. Here's a short message from Travis himself.
This is Travis Watring with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. I'm a multi-line agent specializing in life, home, renters, auto, business, workers' compensation, and farm insurance. Please contact me at travis.watring@infb.com or at 219-869-4561.
And before we move on to talking a little golf, we were supposed to do an interview tonight with a special guest. I don't want to give away who it is yet. Something came up, so we have to reschedule for next week. But we're really excited about that one.
It is Larry Bird.
Damn it, Josh, you gave it away.
Larry Legends joining us in studio.
It is not Larry Legend, but we will be doing a interview with someone a lot of you are familiar with, a person who has made an appearance in the state finals as not only a player but a coach. So we're looking forward to doing that next week. But we do have a special guest joining us for episode 78 next Monday. Who's that going to be, Josh?
Our good buddy and Grace College head baseball coach, Cam Screeton.
Good old Camo is going to join us, give us a recap on the Grace Lancer season, and he's just going to stick around, spit some sports talk with us.
Give us his scouting report on Romeo Langford as well as I'm sure he'll drop some Cubs knowledge.
He'll bring some energy to the Cubs report on a Monday because we know Josh will be tired.
It's a slap to the face. I resent that.
Hey, you brought the energy tonight.
I did. It's Wednesday. Maybe we should do Wednesday all the time. Probably this 16-ounce beer didn't hurt matters either.
A little Yingling in your system.
Yeah, I had to get a little booze in me this week.
All right. Players' Championship.
Golf.
Players' Championship. One of my favorite events. I just always enjoy watching it. It's traditionally on Mother's Day weekend, but this is going to be the last year for that in a while because it's moving to March next year. And
is it always at the same golf course? Or does
yes, it's always at TBC Sawgrass.
That's right.
Famously known for the 17th Island Green that was Pete Dye made on mistake.
Do you think you could hit the green on 17? Do you think so?
Mm-hmm. It'll be difficult. I think I could, but I don't think I could par it because my putting's so bad. I don't think I could 1 or 2 putt that green.
I bet you'd ground it into the
it's only like 130 yards, but it's just so intimidating looking.
Yeah.
Now, put some people in the grandstand or no on the green.
That's a little different story.
Especially on like a Sunday. But the Players' Championship put 2 major powerhouse groups together this week. First off, Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, and Justin Thomas all together.
It's a good one.
Pretty good group. You're thinking, my God, where's everybody else going to be on the course? Well, a lot of them are going to be following this pairing of Ricky Fowler, Phil Mickelson, and Tiger Woods.
One of those guys doesn't belong.
Tiger, get out. I don't know. I mean, they definitely did this on purpose. I mean, Tiger's crowd and Phil's crowd alone are big, and Ricky's got one of the biggest, but not like those two. Put all 3 of those guys together, it's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
Ricky even mentioned yesterday, whenever he has a chance to finish and go ahead and tap out his putt, he's going to because of all the movement of Tiger's crowd moving from hole to hole. Mm-hmm. It's going to distract people.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see how Ricky plays because a lot of the talk, as it should be, have been Phil and Tiger because they're rivals. Even though they're really good friends now, at one time they didn't really get along. They're good buddies now. I'm interested to see if Ricky's either going to play really well or really crappy. There's going to be no in between. And even when you look at both these powerhouse groups, if you gave me all 6 or the field, I still take the field.
Oh, yeah.
It just, the odds.
How's Ricky done at this course in the past?
He won there in 2015. That's his crowning moment when he went. He got stupid hot towards the end, then won it in a playoff. That's when he birdied hole 17 3 times that Sunday, which is incredible. Yeah. And I think he birdied it 5 times that week. He was ridiculous on that 5 or 6 times that week. But yeah, he likes this course. He's played well there. Not only does he have a win, he has a tied for second there as well a few years before that. But Tiger's a 2-time champ there. Phil's won it once. Phil, besides winning, sucks at this course. It wouldn't shock me to see him not make the cut. But he's already has a win this year. He has multiple top 5s this year. He's playing really well. We've seen Tiger play pretty well, except he putted so bad last week.
He was kind of whiny about it, too.
Yeah. Phil played well last week. Ricky played well for the most part, but a 4-putt from 19 feet on Saturday killed him. Jordan Spieth had a decent season so far. Hasn't had much success at this course. Justin Thomas having a good year again. Rory's having so-so year. He's never won here, so it'll be interesting. Defending champ is Siwoo Kim.
Siwoo.
Yep. So it's a fun tournament to watch, and I don't know. I don't even want to take a stab at who I think's gonna win.
Who you have winning?
I don't know. There's so many guys. I'm trying to think of guys who are good there.
Gotta do it.
I'm really trying to think of guys who are good. I'm trying to think of somebody who's won there in the past. Sergio's won there. Adam Scott's won there. I don't know, I'm going to throw out like Bubba Watson. Let's go with Bubba. I'm going to probably miss a cut, but
cool.
Go with Bubba. So, and read an interesting article today. Good buddy Aaron Lynch sent it to me about Patrick Rogers. A lot of people who follow any type of Indiana high school golf probably have heard of him. He was from Avon, Stanford's #1 player, ranked #1 amateur in the world. He's now in his 4th season as a PGA on the PGA, and he still hasn't won a tournament. It was close in the John Deere 2 years ago, and Bryson DeChambeau shot a 30 on the back 9 to beat him. But he's looking for his first win, but he has made like 7 out of his last 10 cuts, so he's getting close.
Getting paid.
Getting close. And the Purdue boys are holding their own. Tyler Duncan, Adam Schenk, both first year on the PGA Tour there. Usually one of them makes a cut every week. Just kind of a guess who that's going to be. But, yeah, PGA Tour is definitely off and running. It's already a half over, if you believe it or not.
I do not.
So, yeah, it's a running. But this is when it gets fun because now you got the players, then the U.S. Open, then the British Open, then the PGA, then the playoffs kind of all back to back to back. Between the Masters and the players was always kind of a buy time, but now that'll change next year. And they're going to alter the PGA schedule a bunch more next year. I know Detroit's getting a tournament. First time Detroit, Michigan's got a tournament since I can remember. I think speculation is they're moving Tiger's tournament from Washington, D.C. to Detroit.
Tiger has his own tournament.
He does. It's not called like Tiger Woods. It's I think it's the Quicken Loans.
Oh.
But he pretty much runs it. So So. But that's all I got on the PGA front. You got any other news and notes for us at all? Anything? Illini, Dolphins, more Cubs.
I do have
soccer.
Birdie Bogey for you.
I know. I got a quick
answer.
Quick note.
Oh, sorry.
It wasn't a huge note, but it's an NFL note. C.J. Anderson signed with the Panthers yesterday, 1-year deal.
Thank the Lord, he's not in Miami.
I thought he was going to go to the Chargers, to be honest, and play against Denver twice a year. I think Carolina's got a nice little backfield.
Yeah.
Him and C-Mac.
I hope it doesn't hurt
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey will be out wide a lot, and he'll catch a lot of balls.
Well, CJ's good at blocking, so all of a sudden that's a nice little offense.
It's a good team, man.
Nice little offense.
They took a DJ Moore in the first round. They had a Calvin Ridley, which was a surprise. But
and then the Broncos, and I know nobody cares, and if you do, you can go listen to the Orange Weekly podcast. I did a post-draft podcast for them last week.
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana? That's what they should have called it. Aren't you glad I didn't say banana? Is that how it goes?
Yeah. I don't know how to respond to that. But, they declined Shane Ray's 5th-year option. Interesting thing, I didn't know this about 5th-year options. If he was to play the whole year healthy, then they could get rid of him without having to technically pay him all that money. But if he got hurt just for one game, he's guaranteed locked in for all that money the next year.
Probably worth.
And he's coming off a ton of injuries.
Picking it up.
And I don't know how much he's going to play because of the Bradley Chubb addition. But say this could backfire on the Broncos. Say he goes out and gets 10 sacks. That would be his career high, 10 sacks. Broncos aren't going to be able to keep him because he's going to get paid by somebody, probably his hometown Kansas City Chiefs. Then he's going to come back and play the Broncos twice a year. But what if the Broncos would have tagged him or gave him the 5th year, and then he has like 3 or 4 sacks? Then you're paying him a bunch of money next year for the same.
Nothing.
Yeah, so he hasn't really lived up to expectations, but he has been battered and bruised a lot. So it'll be interesting to see. I just hope he still gives full effort. You think he would because his goal now is to get paid by somebody else. But, yep, that's all I got. So now I'm ready for Birdie Bogey.
Who has the most 20 assist games in NBA playoff history?
John Stockton.
No, he's second, though. He had 4 of them. This person had 20.
Magic.
Yeah.
Every other week, I guess Magic.
As Tanner punches the table, that's what that sound was.
I get it wrong, but dang. Oh well. So.
You want me to send us home tonight?
Yeah, send us home. You started it. Send us home
that
for
was
episode
77 of the Tan and J-Man Show, sponsored by Fraunfelter Dental Clinic. Like us on Facebook, The Tan and J-Man Show. Follow us on Twitter, @Tan and J-Man Show. Follow us on Instagram. What is it? At the Tan and J-Man Show.
YouTube.
Streaming on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn Radio. Follow our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I am putting the podcast on there now. So
you are putting the podcast on there.
The last 3 are on there.
Cool. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. We'll be joined by Grace College head baseball coach Camo Streeton on Monday night. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week.